The two sons of Abraham, a story of waiting and faith. Snow dust drifted across the desert like salt in the late light. At Mamre's oaks, Abram's tent stood like a ship anchored in a sea of sand. He was old now, his beard white as dawn, and Sarai, dignified as ever, still carried in her eyes the quiet fatigue of sleepless years. They had lived in Canaan for 10 years. The promise, "Your descendants shall be as countless as the stars," hung above them like a star that would not fall. Every time Sarai saw the shepherd boys running by, she smiled, and that smile dissolved into wind. Inside, the smell of baked bread lingered. Sarai paused at her loom, looking at her calloused hands. Then her gaze fell on Hagar, the young Egyptian maid, strong and bright-eyed. Sarai called her close and said calmly, though her voice carried the weight of decision,
"The Lord has kept me from bearing children. Hagar, I will give you to my husband. Perhaps through you I will have a son."
Hagar bowed her head. In those nomadic days, such acts were not rare, but to a young woman, it was both honor and fear. When Abram heard, he was silent for a long while. He believed the promise, yet years wear down even stone. He exhaled deeply and nodded. And so a new path began. Hagar conceived. Joy rippled through the camp, whispers followed like wind. But as her belly grew, her eyes towards Sarai changed. There was pride in them. Sarai felt it. At first she endured. Later her pride burned. One night she told Abram,
"I was wronged. I gave her to you, and now she despises me. Let the Lord judge between you and me."
Abram, weary, replied,
"She is your maid. Do with her as you will."
Sarai dealt harshly with Hagar, and the girl fled. The desert night was cold as needles. Lost and frightened, Hagar reached a spring of water. She sank beside it, hands on her belly, caught between despair and fear for the child she carried. Then a voice, gentle yet piercing, spoke.
"Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?"
She answered,
"I am fleeing my mistress."
"Return to her and submit. I will multiply your descendants beyond number. You will bear a son. You shall call him Ishmael. God hears, for the Lord has heard your cry."
Hagar lifted her eyes, but saw only the wind. She trembled with awe, naming the place, El Roi, the God who sees me. At dawn, she turned back. Abram welcomed the child on a morning scented with grass. He named him Ishmael, God hears. That name became the one clear note among the tense, silent tensions. Hagar loved her son, Sarai kept her distance, and Abram tried to bridge both shores with calm leadership. He taught Ishmael to ride and draw a bow. The boy grew tall, quiet, and sharp-eyed, his father's image. 13 years passed. Abram was nearly 100 when God appeared again in the thin gold of dawn.
"I am the Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless. I will make my covenant with you. You shall be father of many nations. Your name shall be Abraham, and your wife's name, Sarah. I will bless her and give you a son by her."
Abraham fell on his face, half in awe, half in disbelief. Then laughter broke out of him.
100 years old, and Sarah 90.
He whispered,
If only Ishmael might live before you.
God said,
"I will bless Ishmael. He shall become a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, the son Sarah shall bear at this time next year."
Soon after, Abraham performed the covenant rite, circumcising every male in the camp, even Ishmael, who stood beside his father without flinching, proud to belong. One scorching noon, Abraham sat at his tent's entrance. He looked up. 3 men stood nearby. He ran to meet them, bowed low.
My lords, do not pass by. Let me wash your feet. Rest under the oaks while I bring bread and milk.
Sarah kneaded white flour. Abraham chose the best calf. As they ate, one said,
"Where is Sarah your wife?"
In the tent.
Then came the words, "A year from now, Sarah will have a son."
Inside, Sarah paused mid-motion and laughed to herself.
After I am worn out, my husband old.
The visitor asked.
Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Frightened, she denied it. But he said softly,
No, you did laugh.
and from that day, the word laughter lingered in their tent like an unseen seed. The next year, grass turned green again. Herds birthed their young, and one dawn, Sarah's labor cries broke through the camp. Abraham stood outside, hands clasped in prayer. Then came the first cry of the child, loud enough to shatter all doubt. Holding the baby, Sarah wept and laughed at once.
God has made laughter for me. Everyone who hears will laugh with me.
They named him Isaac. He laughs. He slept in a cradle woven from years of waiting. At Isaac's weaning feast, the camp filled with joy. Tents were hung with new cloth, tables piled with milk and bread. Ishmael, now a strong young archer, played teasingly with the toddler. But Sarah's heart twisted, not from hatred, but from a fragile fear that her promised joy might be divided. That night she said, cold but resolute,
Send away the slave woman and her son. The son of the slave shall not share inheritance with mine.
The words pierced Abraham like a blade. He went out and prayed beneath the stars. And once again God answered,
Do not grieve for the boy or the maid. Listen to Sarah, for through Isaac your line shall be called. But I will make of Ishmael a great nation.
At dawn, Abraham gave Hagar bread and water. He placed his hand on Ishmael's head in silent blessing. No long farewell. Strong men hide pain behind still eyes. Hagar and her son walked into the wilderness of Beersheba. The sun blazed like a forge. Water ran out. Ishmael staggered, lips cracked, breath short. Hagar, desperate, laid him under a bush and stepped away.
I cannot watch my child die.
She wept, but heaven was not silent. The angel called,
Hagar, do not fear. God has heard the boy's cry. Lift him up, I will make him a great nation.
Then she saw it, a well. Water cooled the boy's lips and her heart. They lived. Ishmael grew in the wilderness, became a master archer. Hagar found him an Egyptian wife, keeping one soft thread to her past. Years later, news reached Abraham from passing caravans. Ishmael, tall and respected, leader of many flocks, voice of authority at desert wells. Whenever Abraham heard, he stood silent, aching and grateful. The words, I will watch over him, still held true. In Sarah's tent, Isaac's laughter filled the air. He followed his father to the fields, asking about stars and clouds. Abraham would rest a hand on his shoulder and say,
Look, my son, the Lord promised our descendants would be like these.
Isaac grinned.
Then I'll need many friends to count them.
The boy's laughter healed what bitterness remained. The story of these two sons was more than a family matter. It was two roads in one desert, one made by human impatience, quick, logical, but thorny. The other, slow and uncertain, but ending at a hidden well. Hagar and Ishmael proved that God does not abandon those outside the central plan. Sarah and Isaac proved that divine promises, though late, arrive right on time. Years later, when Isaac was grown, Abraham often sat beneath the oaks watching sunset. He remembered it all. Sarai's fierce eyes that night, Sarah's secret laugh, Hagar's weary steps, a baby's cry, God's voice in the wind. He realized faith is never a straight line. It bends, but God meets you at every turn. And in distant Paran, Hagar still sat by her well, watching Ishmael teach the young ones to shoot. She remembered the spring where God saw me. History may write her name briefly, but to God she has a full name. Her son's name, Ishmael, God hears, keeps testifying with every footprint in the sand. As for Sarah, each time she held Isaac, she laughed again. For laughter too is a form of faith, to laugh at the impossible and wait for it to come true. She would tell her son,
Isaac, you are my laughter, but more than that, you are proof that God keeps his word.
And Abraham, who had walked from Ur to Haran to Canaan, from hope to weariness and back again, ended his days with a simple prayer each morning.
Lord, teach me to walk slowly with you. When I grow impatient, remind me of the well in the desert. When I grow weak, remind me of the laughter in the tent.
The story of the two sons does not end in ancient pages. It continues every time someone stands at a crossroads, between doing things their way or waiting for God's time. Hagar reminds us that even in our harshest deserts, there is an eye that sees and an ear that hears. Sarah reminds us that late laughter still shines bright. Ishmael teaches endurance, Isaac the joy of fulfillment. And Abraham teaches that mature faith isn't about never wandering, it's about returning when you hear the voice again.
This time next year, my word will come true.
From Hagar's well to Sarah's laughter, the journey of faith is always marked for those who learn to wait. If this story moved you, subscribe to the good news and help share its message. Tell us in the comments which moment stayed with you most, the well in the desert or the laughter in the tent.